It's that time. Let's get it, y'all. If you watching the speech, I'm watching it too. Let's get it.
The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year.
It's all about me, 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 me. Remember that when we dealing with these politicians. Me, me, me. But let's see.
And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years. Year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful
Just
father.
want to make sure I could see the screen.
Before he was born. Substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration
everything is always an extreme with him. It's either the best or it's the worst. It's either the biggest.
It was down to 1.7%.
It can't never just be, we're getting better. We're doing well. It's always got to be, it's the best in the history of the world. Like, everything can't be the best when it comes to you, sir. But let's continue.
Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon.
Let me know who's here. Check in with me. Let me know who's watching. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold, so if you see me messing with my nose, just know that's what it is.
$1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
I don't know where gas is 185 at, but it's definitely not that where I live. But gas has been a little bit lower. It really has.
And the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year.
How y'all doing out there? What's going on? SD1 is in the building. Sugar Daddy. Dark. What is it? Darn. I'm gonna just call you Dark. What's going on? I'm good. How you doing? Welcome to the speech of the century.
And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market is at
excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, y'all. I'm a little under the weather. Everly, thank you for checking in. I appreciate you. My name is UGoddess. This is Black Girl in a Blue State, and we watching the State of the Union address. So stick and stay. We're gonna react to it together.
Got less than $1 trillion in new investment in the United States, and when I say less, substantially less.
We talking the economy, y'all. We talking the economy. How y'all feeling about the economy? Is it as good as he says it is? Hey, Sugar Daddy, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. But like sometimes you gotta take a peek in on the other side and see what they got going on. So so nothing don't surprise you. So you don't wake up to a surprise. You know what I'm saying?
A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world.
And by the way, if Republicans are not your thing, if Trump is not your thing, there will be a Democratic response immediately following the speech, and we'll be watching and reacting to that as well. So stay tuned. Or check back in with me after the speech is over.
Plants and laboratories are being built. We have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day.
You're welcome, Everly. Thank you for being here.
Friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
I feel like the Supreme Court justices, you know how they not allowed to show any impartiality, so they got to just be still and can't smile or react. That's how I feel right now. Like a Supreme Court justice. I should be a Supreme Court justice.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today. And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector.
Are y'all watching? Let me know if you watching the speech or you just chilling.
DEI in America.
They cheering that he said we ended DEI in America, and everybody stood up and started cheering.
A record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record.
Because they think that DEI means putting people in positions that they are not qualified for based on a protected status.
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
Is that my audio or is that... Okay, so he's bringing in the U.S. men's Olympic gold hockey team. Rumor has it that he had invited the women's U.S. hockey team to come along, but they declined because they had other things to do. But clap it up for the men's hockey team, though, at the end of the day. They won gold in the Olympics, so that's something to be proud of for sure. I feel like I gotta sneeze. Like I said, I'm a little under the weather. I'm a little sick right now, but I'm not claiming it. I'm not claiming it. Be gone, head cold. Be gone. You feel me? Shout out to Landlord from Alabama in the building. He sound like me if I just walked up there and freestyle a speech. Yeah, he's well known for going off the prompter, as they call it.
First time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House.
Okay, so they rescheduled because they were supposed to be there tonight, but they told him they couldn't make it. Oh, I already know what word that is. The biggest. The biggest ever. Them his two favorite words. Biggest ever.
And I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there and they weren't about to say no because I'd never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck.
Winning. Who is he? Charlie Sheen? He must be nervous. He is chewing the hell out of that gum. It's kind of weird to be chewing gum on national TV at the White House like this, at the Capitol like that, you
Shots
know?
on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off. Do you practice that, or was that unlucky?
Antonio, thank you for stopping by.
But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear.
Welcome to the stream. We watching and reacting to the State of the Union address. If you want to stick and stay.
Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given, and which has been given to many athletes over the years. But when I say many, not too many, like 12. It's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I missed that. Is he giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom to the goalie of the U.S. men's hockey team? It's a pretty high honor, right?
Great athletes have gotten that, very great, the best.
Oh, okay.
But he deserved it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no. And every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. And what a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
Did y'all watch the Olympics? Did y'all watch the U.S. hockey's men's team? I did.
The Olympic torch is lit.
But congratulations to them.
America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version.
Yeah, I didn't watch either, Justin. It's been years. I could say, honestly, it's been years since I sat down and watched the Olympics for any reason. Winter, spring, summer, or fall. Winter or summer. It's something that I have fond memories of, though, because my mother used to watch the Winter Olympics, and I remember sitting down and watching it with her. She used to love the figure skating, especially the figure skating.
And this year,
yeah, Justin, it feels like that, doesn't it?
And I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place. And now I've got them because I got the Olympics, I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics coming, and that is exciting news.
So the next Olympics is going to be in LA, right? So that's pretty exciting for the country for sure.
And the heroes who have kept it free. Men like
Amen, Justin. Amen.
At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of
Appreciate
the
you, Justin.
largest
I
anywhere in
do.
the world. But he earned many honors. He
901, is
won a
that your
Green
area
Card,
code? Where is
crossed over,
901?
came home, started a family, and tonight
I'm not
he's in
familiar.
the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his
I
100th birthday.
appreciate you, Justin. That's what's up. Keep in touch with me. Yeah, tap in with me every now and then. This is not just a strictly political channel, I promise. I just figured I'd go live and chop it up with y'all as we watch the president. Alright, big up Memphis. Big up yourself. Make sure you tap back in with me. I appreciate you. World War II Army veteran in the building.
So, buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense
World
learning,
War II was
your
quite a long
spirit,
time ago, so you know that man is
1776, has always
up there in
shone
age.
through very brightly.
Wow.
It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one. As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClament closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a
He's
helicopter
talking
above.
about
Nobody knew where he came from.
that flood
It was Scott's first ever rescue mission. A young guy, but
with
very
that. I think
brave,
it killed a couple
very,
of young
very tough.
kids in
Always
Texas,
stopped
right?
just last, and he
Yeah, it's
landed.
pretty
Now
sad.
here's Billy
I think
Kay,
they were at a
but
summer camp and
164
they
of
died
us to
in
say.
that in those waters. So definitely want to give a round of applause to the rescue workers and the first responders that helped save some of those kids.
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something.
Wow.
Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate.
Okay, that's sweet. That's sweet. The little girl who almost died and the rescue worker who saved her life. So yeah, they deserve a round of applause for sure. For sure.
And Petty Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you.
Put a nice little medal on his jacket for his heroism.
And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aid, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service. Thank you very much. From 1776 to today, every generation of Americans has stepped forward to defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further, where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first and ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history and our Republican
What is it
majorities that live
called
in
when it's
social to
250
protect you
years?
Republicans.
I know when it was 200, it was a bicentennial. Is there a name for 250?
All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and
Here
very
we go.
necessary massive tax cuts.
Oh, okay, I thought he was saying something
They
divisive.
wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people
Oh,
instead.
he is being divisive.
But we
Yeah.
held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Sometimes when one side wants to vote for something and the other side overwhelmingly says no, it's because they want a little something, something in the bill for them too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I hate about this two-party BS. It's just straight BS. Welcome Joe Les Mario. Thank you for stopping by. We just watching the State of the Union address. Nothing too crazy. Nothing to jump up and down about.
Children during the day while waiting tables at night.
And it'll sound crazy because it'll be packaged like we wanted to slash prices for seniors and we wanted to approve free health care for the poor, but the other side, they say no, they voted against it, they're terrible, they hate America, and it don't even really be like that. It just, the other side has things that they want to get done, but the majority is so overwhelming that they're not able to get in the things that they want to vote for the country as well. There might be a little something in there that's just slightly off, and so they're like, okay, we'll vote for that, but let's compromise. But there's no compromise, so it seems like they're voting against tax cuts when really they're just voting against not getting in what they want to get in there. And it's just a mess, because are you fighting for your party or are you fighting for the people? Me.
I did not name that. Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the third row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6,250,000,000.
Did he just say 6 billion with a B? Wow. 6 point, they donated 6.25 billion with a B.
Well, I just sat in my dorm in school and I made computers and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling.
Oh, Dell. They're from Dell. Okay, the owners, the founder of Dell Computers. So yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner. Thank you, Brad. So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it. How much money is that for somebody?
So tax-free savings, tax-free bank accounts for
To make this investment in our
the
children's
youth.
future, go to trumpaccounts.gov.
Okay, Joe.
Trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular.
Habla español?
What it was going to take. So proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for
What's going on, Miss Angie?
economic turnaround. The
We watching the president,
Dow
girl.
Jones broke
We
50,000
watching the
years
president.
ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't
I was gonna
supposed to
watch it
for many
anyway,
years.
so I just said, let me go
Were
live.
tariffs.
Okay, Joel, guess
I
what?
guess
I
it's
cannot
took
speak
in hundreds of
Portuguese,
billions of dollars to
so
make
we can't
greenfield
even talk.
projects,
Yes,
both
but
economic
shout out
development
to
and national
Brazil. Shout out to
security
Brazil. That's
basis.
a country that I would.
Everything was
Oh,
working
I've
well.
always wanted
Countries
to
that
come
were
and visit.
ripping us off for
Always
decades are
wanted
now
to come
paying
and
us
visit.
hundreds of billions of dollars.
Beautiful
They were
Brazil.
ripping us so badly, you all know that. Everybody knows it. Even
You
the
wrote the
Democrats know it. They
big.
just don't want to say it.
Anthony,
And
fix
yet
that up
these
because I can't
countries are
understand that.
now happy, and so are
I
we.
can't
We made
understand that.
deals. The deals are all done, and they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling.
He about to slam. He about to slam the Supreme Court justices while they sitting right in front of him. He dragged them so bad. Did y'all see when he came out and he did that speech about the Supreme Court justices because they didn't vote for him or vote with him? Or they voted against him being able to impose these tariffs. And he dragged them for filth.
Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, he's powerful. Country saving. It's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in. Peace protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger.
All they could do is just sit there and blink. This is funny.
It's already time tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love.
And it's like, just because they didn't vote his way, they told him that he can't just be imposing these tariffs all willy-nilly. He got all upset and called them un-American and unpatriotic. I just think that that's such dangerous speech whenever somebody doesn't agree with you on where the direction that you think your country should be going in, that they automatically get labeled unpatriotic or un-American. That's very dangerous speech, especially in this day and time that we're living in. Angie, tell me about it. Tell me about his name is all up in them Epstein files. You heard me, but you know, he took out all the bad stuff and only gave us the stuff that made him look innocent. Yeah, we know.
It reached a breaking point with the Green New Scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions.
Here we go.
They were murderers.
Thank you. I can't pronounce your name. Said nice wig. Have a great day. I just decided to go blue today. You know, that's the wonderful thing about wearing a wig is that you can switch it up. You can switch it up. So since today we watching a orange president deliver a red speech, I thought I would just go opposite and go blue. Go Cowboys. I appreciate you. I'm gonna try to pronounce your name. Oh man, this is hard. Sarah. Let me see. Serrana Tres. Serrana
If the
Tres.
statements were a lie, they knew.
Oh, okay. Well, I know the 013.
Their policies
11,
created the
12,
high
13,
prices.
14,
Our policies
15,
are rapidly
16.
ending them.
Angie says, I will never understand the logic of people. Man,
Prices are
is there
plummeting.
even logic there? I don't know. I don't know.
The price of eggs is down 60%.
He said the price of eggs is down. Why was the price of eggs even so high in the first place? How did that happen?
Is lower today than when I
Cero
started.
uno tres.
Even
Cero
beef,
uno
which was
tres.
very high, is
I
starting to
see it
come in
now.
below 6. Just hold on a little while. We
Joe
get there.
Berlo.
And soon
Joe
we will
Berlo.
see
I
numbers
see
that
it. Is
few
that how I say
people
that?
would think were possible
I get it
in
now.
just a short time of.
Gracias.
Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, especially energy. When they see energy going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut.
I don't know. I just wonder if like the price of the eggs went up so high just so somebody could bring them down and say that they brought them down. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. Cause when eggs was like $10 a carton, I know some people didn't see those prices. Maybe they didn't go up that high where you live at, but I promise you, eggs was like over $10 a dozen in certain areas of the country, including where I live. I seen it with my own eyes. So it just makes you wonder, how does something like that happen? Only for them to just go right back down again. You know?
Healthcare plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
Talking about bringing down the cost of healthcare. Son of Cool says he voted for Trump. That's cool. I mean, it's a free country, baby.
Requires maximum price
He must have been selling you something that you wanted to buy. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about him so far in this second time around? You think he's living up to what you voted for? Nathaniel wants Trump to run again in 2028. Nathaniel is speaking very unconstitutionally right now. Son says he's very pleased with Trump's performance thus far. That's what's up. Nathaniel says he's doing a good job. That's what's up.
But they never could. They tried.
But you know he can't run again in 2028, right? You know that, right? You know that, right?
They were all tall.
If he pulls that off, man, I'm gonna pack my bags. Because that means we are really living in a state of lawlessness. You feel me?
By far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs. Will now
He's just trolling me.
Anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
Lowest prices of prescription drugs anywhere in the world. I mean, how many of us can really say if that's true or false? I know there's some people in the chat that are in, other countries. How do you feel about your healthcare system and the price of your prescription drugs?
I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big.
It's always extremes with him. Health prescription drugs were at the highest price they've ever been, and I made them the lowest price that they've ever been. This is how he always talks. And then all you got to do is like Google it, and you can fact check him, and you find out that he's just exaggerating. Why do he always got to exaggerate? Why can't he just say, I brought the prices down, instead of saying I made them the lowest that they've ever been? Because half the time when he says stuff like that, more than half the time when he says stuff like that, it's a lie. And he can easily be fact checked. Nathaniel says, do you see what's going on in New York and Chicago? What's going on in New York and Chicago?
a reduction of much more actually than
Most of the people are on
$3,500.
food stamps in New York and
That brings you
Chicago.
all, Frank, to
Angie
you
says
and
he
your
sounds like a drug
expertise.
dealer. Because he is one. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies are. That's for sure. This man, he was so jealous of Obama's Obama's take on healthcare that he been trying to get rid of it ever since he got into office. And he finally came up with his own healthcare and named it Trump RX because Obama's healthcare program was called Obamacare. So, he had to come up with a healthcare system and name it
Let's
Trump
raise our
RX.
prices 700 or 800%. But
Lo
John, my
siento,
view
Joel.
is
Oh,
that
I'm sorry. Joel, he speaks
we
Portuguese,
make it,
not
codify it anyway.
Spanish, and I don't
Many
speak
Americans are
Portuguese.
also concerned that
Landlord says, how do they let him
energy
do
debate
that? Because he
conveyed
does
by
what he
data
wants.
centers could
Landlord from
further drive
Alabama.
up
Hey, landlord,
electric utility bills.
Angie is up in here. We
Families
having
will
a little
also have
Cowboys
to be
reunion.
treated to new
I don't know if
rate
she's still
payers
here, but she was
protection
just here.
plans. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go
Yeah, I'm
down
sorry.
significantly and very substantially down. This
My
is a
guy
unique
Joel
strategy
or
never used in
Joe, he
this
wants
country before.
captions.
We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they
Present.
can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you and could be very substantial for all of you cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms
He's
and
talking
private
about the
assets firms.
price of
Paid all cash and turned those houses into
your
rental
electric bill should be
stay-away
going down over the next couple
American
of years.
dreams.
He's working on that.
Devastating.
He's working on bringing
Surge
down the
like this
cost of
why last month I
home
signed an
ownership
executive
and
order
those
to ban
sorts of
large Wall Street
things.
investment
Well, hurry
firms from
up
buying
because
into the
my
market
light bill is
of
actually going up
single-family
instead of
homes.
going down right now. Matter of fact, my light company is so honest about it. They wrote to us and told us that your light bill is about to be a little bit higher than what you're used to, even if your
I urge
usage
the
is still the
Congress to
same.
make that ban permanent because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Raysal, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will always protect Social
Social
Security,
Security
Medicare.
and Medicare, that's huge. We want to make sure that our seniors, our elderly, are well taken care of after they are retired and ready to just live out their last days in peace and harmony without having to worry about debt, without having to worry about how they're going to pay their bills, without having to
Because the
worry
stock
about
market has done so
how they're going to
fast
get their
before
medication for their
you follow
illnesses
what's
and their
happening.
ailments.
A
They've worked
handful
their
of
whole
wealthy
lives in
Americans
this
still do not have
country.
access to a
They've paid
family
into the
plan
system
protection
their
contribution.
whole adult
Thank you,
lives.
lawyer.
And then when
Your
it's time
remaining
for them to
minutes
retire, there's no
staring at
money
the
there for them.
opposite
There's no
page.
health care there for
I
them.
bet you'll give these
That's not
oftentimes
okay.
forgotten American workers great
That's
credit
not
for what
okay.
built our country.
Landlord says
Access to the
need to
same
because they
type of
about to
retirement
protest the
plan
power
offered
company in
to
my
every
city. They
federal
got a
worker
date and
would snatch your
I'm telling you,
contribution
my
$2,000
power
away
company is so
as we ensure that
is
all
so
Americans
bold
can
with it.
profit from a
They let
rising
us
wealth
know that
platform
they
for
was
Social
raising the
Insurance.
rates and
Members of
there was no
Congress
vote. There
do
was
not
no
corrupt or
question
profit
about it. It wasn't a
from using
question. It was
insider
they telling us it's going
information.
up with no explanation. So these politicians can run on they're going to bring everything down and then you vote them into office and it's like, they can't just wave a magic wand and make prices go down. Um, Porches. Thank you. I appreciate it. I decided to go blue since our president is so orange. You feel what I'm saying?
Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here?
And now he's being divisive and he's calling out
Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
Democrats in the audience, giving people death stares.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I was very impressed.
Orange is the new black. Words. Listen, son, we already know whose side you're on. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm really not on a side. I swear on everything I'm not. I swear I'm not.
Members of the Somali
Nathaniel says, around wintertime, light bills always go up. Learn how to save your money. Sir,
we have all the information.
it's not just in the wintertime, because think about it. In the summertime, do you not run an air conditioner? Do you not run fans to cool your house down? Yeah, son, son, it's all good around here. You not being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to politics, you should never ever let politics keep you from getting to know somebody or respecting somebody or giving somebody a open ear. We should always be willing to be open with each other, because at the end of the day, Republican, Democrat, no, human being trying to survive on this planet. That's what we really are. All love. Same goes to you, Nathaniel.
We're able to find enough of that fraud. We will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota.
Angie says, I don't trust neither side. Neither side. I don't trust neither side. No politician, to tell you the truth.
Not the exception.
No politician. Because they just want to get in office. They just want to get in office. That's all. So they'll tell you whatever they got to tell you to get your vote, basically.
Higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing. Delilah.
Landlord says it's a mental illness if you trust these people. Or it should be one.
Delilah Colton was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more.
Wow.
The driver was an illegal alien let in by...
Okay, so now we about to start talking about Trump's favorite subject.
California.
Illegal aliens. Let's get it. It's his time to shine.
She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds, she is now in the first grade learning to walk.
Using people for your vote.
She's here this evening with her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up.
Oh, she's nervous. A little girl who was hit in a car accident by an illegal alien driving an 18-wheeler. So, we definitely are giving her a standing ovation for surviving that crash.
Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger.
Now, here he go. He said illegal aliens, most of them can't read or speak English. And that's why they can't read the road signs when they're driving on the road. And that's why he slammed and crashed into that little girl in her car, which we all know car accidents happen every day, whether you American or not.
And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration, people came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub,
Oh
bleeding
God.
profusely after being stabbed 25 times.
Oh my goodness.
Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in.
Okay, so he's pulling at the heartstrings now, talking about a girl who was murdered, violently murdered by an illegal alien. So
Remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast.
I appreciate that he actually said illegal criminal aliens. He usually doesn't say that. Excuse me, y'all. A little bit sick. And it's very dangerous to be able, it's very dangerous when you say um aliens are doing it, immigrants are doing it, and they're all criminals, and they're all from asylums and jails, and they're all crazy, because there are people out there that'll hear that and they will automatically attribute these evil, wicked things to all immigrants across the board and just paint them with the broad brush, and not understanding that there are criminals everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, if you are in this country and you're an illegal immigrant, there are so many different facets to how you became an illegal immigrant in this country. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are criminalistic. It doesn't mean that you are evil. It doesn't mean that you are a murderer. But if you're here illegally, you probably need to work on getting yourself here straight. And do they need to be deported? Well, someone who's here committing crimes and is not a legal citizen, yes, they need to be deported. I think we would all agree with that. It's just the way he presents it, it sounds as if all immigrants are bad. And that's the dangerous part of the way this president speaks. That girl that was murdered by that illegal alien, that was really, really sad. And that was a really crazy story that he just told. But American citizens kill American citizens in this country every single day. So stop it. Every day. And you can't deport them because they're Americans. Human beings are just prone to be violent. Some human beings are prone to be violent, period. It doesn't matter if they're in the country that they were born in. Some Americans are just prone to kill.
Clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
The first duty of the American country is to protect its citizens and not illegal aliens. I think most people would agree with that. That's not a wild statement at all. We want to make sure that we just are not categorizing all immigrants to be criminals or all immigrants to be illegal aliens. That's my issue. The death penalty needs to be a thing. It is a thing. You want it to be a thing across all 50 states? 51 states, I guess, now. The thing about the death penalty at the end of the day, it takes a very, very long time, right? Like, at that point, it's almost like just let the person stay in jail for life. And then also, capping, at the end of the day, there are too many wrongly convicted prisoners who are sitting in jail right now, convicted of a crime that they did not commit, who could potentially be killed by the death penalty and be the wrong man or woman. So, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I'm like, death penalty, I don't know about that. Because there's just too many people who are in jail that are innocent of the crime that they were convicted for. But for the death penalty, for the people who are convicted and are sitting on death row, they sit there for years and years and years and ooh, they're yelling. They having a screaming match, y'all. They having a screaming match. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. It was Ilhan Omar. I don't know who the lady is that's sitting next to her, but they were yelling, screaming at the president. He was yelling back at them, saying, "You should be ashamed of yourself." He hates that girl. He hates her.
Most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the.
He strongly dislikes Ilhan Omar, as well as Alexandria AOC. AOC. Yeah, he don't like them two girls at all.
We're unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. That cheating is rampant in our elections.
So now he's talking about, yeah, the squad. Yeah, he can't stand them ladies. He's talking about illegal voting. He's talking about making it a requirement that you show ID when you vote. And that sounds simple enough, right? That sounds simple enough. But showing proof of citizenship, showing proof of residency when you vote sounds simple enough, and I don't have a problem with that. I really, really don't. Except the problem is that it tends to hurt the people who are in underprivileged communities. People who are in underprivileged communities sometimes do not have ID. That's where it gets sticky for us. You know what I'm saying? So if they can find a way to make sure that the people who are underprivileged, low income, or the people who cannot make it, out to the voter polls, if there's a way that we can help them, if they're legally registered to vote and all of that good stuff, so that they can exercise their constitutional right. That's all I care about. I'm not saying that I am for illegal voting or I'm for cheating. None of that. I'm for legal voting, but some people need a little extra help. So let's help them get to the polls. Let's help them exercise their constitutional right, and I'm Gucci. Captain says he agrees. These folks are resilient, not stupid like they've been made to look.
Legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
So Trump is very concerned about illegal voting because he's been saying for years that when he lost the election to Biden, that it was as a result of cheating.
They don't want to do it. Why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat.
He says the only reason you wouldn't want voter ID is because you want to cheat.
They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
So he says when they call it racist, they're just coming up with excuses. But I already explained where the racist factor comes
Show
in.
common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, it confused
Okay, he
Sage
about to
and
start
alerted
talking
Congress
about
after she was found in a horrific
transgenders
situation in Maryland.
and
A
children.
left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full ride
How did that
scholarship to
happen?
Liberty University.
He's telling the story about a girl who the school was treating her like a boy and didn't tell her parents that she was trans or wanted to be trans, or they were treating her like a boy. And when the parents tried to take her out of the school, they fought the parents. That's crazy.
Thank you.
Leave the kids alone, man.
Can you believe that we're even speaking about things?
Yeah, leave the kids alone. You see why I say I'm not one side or the other? I have some conservative views now. I definitely have some conservative views. Leave the kids alone. I don't know what that story was. I'm gonna have to look up and read that story when this is done. Cause how can a school turn your daughter into a boy and not and then make you the bad guy because you won't go along with it? That I gotta look into that.
We must ban it immediately. Look, nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you.
So he just pointed at the Democrats because they didn't stand up and clap. And he goes, these people are crazy because they didn't stand up and clap for the transgender stuff that he was just talking about.
Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time.
Then he says the Democrats are destroying our country. See, I don't like when he does stuff like that, man. It's too divisive. It's too divisive and it's dangerous.
America's youth and our wonderful first lady, now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that? Over the past year, she has had an incredible impact championing
Melania.
legislation, advancing a landmark executive order and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Forster Youth.
Let's see if Melania cracks a smile tonight, y'all.
Really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest.
It's just crazy because I feel like
Thank you both. And
this is one of the first ladies we've had in a while, I guess, that like we don't really know. She don't be outside. You know what I'm saying? She don't chill with us. I feel like usually the first lady is of the people more so than even the president, because the president has so much work to do. He's got to fly all over the world. He's got to deal with all these world leaders, all these problems. So the first lady is kind of like supposed to be chilling with us and you know, just doing stuff outside for the people. And I don't know, she don't be around, but y'all let me know. You let me know, because I'm not sure. Maybe it's just me.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man.
Okay, so now he's bringing up Charlie Kirk. So you know how this is about to go. His wife is there. She's already crying. Where's Nicki Minaj, though, at the end of the day? Is Nicki Minaj in the building?
And martyred, really martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
She is standing. He said, Erica, please stand. She is standing.
Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
I agree. We should reject political violence of any kind. He's not saying nothing wrong, right? So stop being so divisive. Everybody, not just him, everybody on all sides, on both sides.
Back at levels that nobody actually thought possible. It's really a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our communities safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zuretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the
Okay,
train
so
when
he's
a
talking about
deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up
he's
and
talking
viciously
about
slashed
a
a
young
knife
immigrant
through her neck and
woman
body.
who was
No one
here. I
will
believe
ever
she was a
forget, young
college
people,
student and was
on that
murdered.
train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she
On
looked up
TV, actually.
at
You
her
could watch it
attacker in the
on
last
YouTube. You
seconds
could
of her
probably pull it
life.
up right now and watch her murder.
She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal set free to kill in America. Came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina.
And it was terrible, what happened to that lady. But again, she was she was killed by, he's saying, a hardened criminal who came into the country through our open borders. So this is him going back to illegal immigration again.
I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders are put behind bars, and importantly, that they stay there.
Violent repeat offenders. See, this I kind of agree with, because at the end of the day, he says repeat offenders. I'm not talking about first chance, second chance. I'm talking about you just keep, every time they let you out, you go right back in. And you go right back in for violent stuff. Like you doing stuff, you hurting people, harming people. You are a detriment, you are a hazard to society. Then yeah, you need to stop being let out until you serve your entire sentence. I definitely agree with that, because you're going to kill somebody eventually. They just keep letting you out, sending you to rehab, making you do programs, and you keep doing it, but every minute you just keep going right back in. Something's not working. You're not being rehabilitated, and the next time they let you out, you're going to end up killing somebody. You know what I'm saying? So
From a year ago.
we definitely need to reform a lot that has to do with the criminal justice system. But that's one of the things that I definitely agree with. You can't just keep getting chances.
They don't like to hear that. One of the sick people, one of the brave
He just called the Democrats sick people. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's dangerous talk.
After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged. Shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital.
This is in honor of Sarah Beckstrom, who was killed by an Afghanistan Afghani immigrant.
She was a great person.
She was an army specialist and was killed for wearing her uniform, according to President Trump. And her parents are in the stands tonight. So he's driving home that message of violent, criminal, terroristic illegals in the country killing innocent, young, thriving, perfect Americans.
Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night. And she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone. But his mother said, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, he was given almost no chance. She said, I have no doubt, sir, he's going to be okay. This was a conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying.
The other person that was shot alongside with the lady Sarah,
she was so strong and
he survived, and he's there tonight with his mom.
She didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melanie? She turned out to be right.
And her son is there, Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf of the West Virginia Air National Guard. He survived being shot in the head by an illegal immigrant, I guess. So we're going to clap it up for him as well. God is good.
Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and we're talking about the edge of death, on his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much.
They're clapping for him again. See, if the Democrats are not standing up and clapping for stuff like this, that's kind of petty. And I know we have a petty president, but, don't try to meet his petty. Don't stoop down to his petty. You should be clapping for stuff like that. Like, the man got shot in the head and he survived. And they just awarded him with the Purple Heart. What's the Purple Heart for? For any military people in the chat? Is that like the highest medal of valor, bravery? I think it's for bravery.
We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. My first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia. Isn't it funny? You're sick people. Cambodia.
He said I ended 8 wars.
Would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people.
Cambodia, Thailand, Pakistan, India,
If it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia.
Kosovo, Serbia,
Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia. Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Israel, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia. That's 10.
And of course, the war in Gaza, which proceeds.
Armenia, Azerbaijan, and
I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help.
that was more than 8. Was all those countries at war? Or maybe he was naming the people who were at war with each other. I'm sorry, I really wasn't. I was too much paying attention to how the Democrats is yelling. They yelling in the audience as he's talking about how many wars he ended. They said, "You a lie." They got no behavior tonight. No behavior. People who die or get injured in war. That's who gets the Purple Heart. Mr. Alabama. I know it's a pretty big honor to get that.
Marco got 100% of the votes.
My nose is getting stuffier and stuffier.
The next one was about 54%.
Plasma wants to know if I have a potato in my ancestry. I don't even know what that means. You got to explain that one. Plasma, talk to me. Talk to me. Let's talk about this. We're going to get there together. Y'all don't mind if I wipe my nose, do you? Oh, Plasma's out of there. I wanted to know what he meant by a potato in my ancestry. I don't know. Was I supposed to be offended? Like, if he was trying to offend me, he was going to have to explain it to me first because I didn't get it. He said, we ain't getting there today. We might got to get there tomorrow.
Those parents who had a dead son, their boy, they'd always tell me their boy, they wanted him as much as though he were living. That was an amazing period of time. And they came back and we got all.
Oh, man. You ever regret
Many before them, but I always said those last 20 years.
An idea that you had at the last minute? Do we have to watch the whole thing? I don't really want to watch no more.
But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead of the 28.
It's so grim. Like,
worked along with Israel, and they dealt.
It's just about death and dying and murder. Murder, murder, murder. Kill, kill, kill.
Going through bodies all over, passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found.
Let's go back to talking about the price of eggs or something, because
they finally got it back to 20.
This is like a horror movie.
Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family of the 28th. They were so grieved, but they were so happy as it's possible to be. They had their boy back. The mother said, "Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much.
Getting back the bodies of soldiers. so that they can be properly
And we're working to
memorialized by
end
their
just war,
families.
the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine.
Killing and
25,000
slaughter between
soldiers are
Russia
dying
and
each and every
Ukraine.
month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month.
25,000 soldiers are
A war
dying
like
every
we'll never
month. We
have
probably got to
another one
fact
like
check
it.
that because you know how he is about numbers.
As president, I will make peace wherever I can, but I will never hesitate to confront threats to America wherever we must. That's why, in a breakthrough
Lips are getting
operation last
dry.
June, the United States military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer.
Operation Midnight Hammer. Okay, U.S. military. Not the Operation Midnight Hammer.
For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism,
So we
death,
talking
and
about
hate.
foreign policy
They've
now.
killed
Talking about
tens of
Iran,
thousands of American service
Iran.
members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside
Oh,
bomb.
nose is. I don't know if how much
The
longer I'm
nuclear
gonna be able to
Solomon
stay on
wiped
here
it out
because
during my first term. Had a huge
my
impact
nose is getting
even as the
stuffier
father
and
of the
stuffier.
roadside
I
bomb.
wanted to watch the whole speech and then also the Democratic response because the opposing side's response is always a good time, is it not? It's always very entertaining. So I'm gonna try to hang in there, but I could barely breathe out of my both my nostrils anymore.
600,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them
This is so
with the threat of
bleak.
serious violence. But this
Talking
is
about people getting shot
some
and
terrible
hung.
people.
Hey,
People that
Island.
develop missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases
Welcome to the
overseas. They're
stream.
working to build missiles that will
You know
suffice
Trump can't
the
run in
United States of
2028,
America.
right? are
With
you
their
are you
midnight
somebody else
hammer,
who I gotta educate
they
on the
will warn to
Constitution?
make no future attempts to rebuild their
Stop
weapons
it.
program, in particular nuclear weapons. Yet they continue to starting it all over. We wiped it out and they want to start all over again and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference.
Talking about nuclear war right now. This speech has been dark for a really long time. Like the last, what, 30 minutes or so or more has just been so dark and deadly.
But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's number one sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen.
He's saying he will never allow this dangerous country to ever have a nuclear weapon. I think he's still talking about Iran. He's never going to allow them to have a nuclear weapon.
America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term.
He says we have the most powerful military on earth, and he's the one who rebuilt it. You, me.
Because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective.
Peace through strength. That's his motto for America's powerful military. Like, you know we're big and bad. Don't make us have to show you.
Thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. Have just agreed at my very strong request to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of that. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 5.
He was the first, he was the best, he was the biggest, he was the greatest.
Was something which everyone said would
He's
never
the
be done,
winningest, the winningest. I can't talk because I can't breathe.
Between 2% that's not paid, we were paying, afraid of many of them, very few were paid out. Now 5% when they're paid. And everything we send over to Ukraine is sent through NATO and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full. Every branch of our armed forces is setting records for equipment. This is so exciting.
Excuse me, y'all.
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of
So the Democrats are wearing little name tags that say release the files, release the Epstein files. Facts. They're already released, but let's just say they've been tampered with. Watch my last short. Before you go, before you leave, make sure you hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you say what up to me in the comments. What up, Bull Monkey? I mean, you can't even see my hips. Not in this video anyway. But if you are going to leave me before this is over, make sure you watch my last short.
And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it, so we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we go at 1776, it was great. And we love our military, we love our law enforcement.
Oh, okay, so I think what he did was he sent a check to all the military members, to service members, in the amount of 1776 to commemorate, you know, the 250th anniversary of the country.
American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference for years. Large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by murderous drug cartels.
Now we talking about Mexico, drug cartels. It's getting dark again.
Illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
I think that would be really dope, Angie. Let's set it up. Let's set it up. What we gonna talk about?
And with the new military campaign, we have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in.
So he's talking about stopping all the drugs from coming into the country. You know, his numbers are extremely inflated. Not saying that he hasn't stopped drugs from coming into the country. I'm just saying he hasn't stopped as many drugs as he says. Because he always got to add an extra comma and a couple extra zeros at the end of every number in his favor. You know what I'm saying? That's just how he is, y'all. You got to forgive him or ignore him.
In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history.
Oh yeah, I know. And we wouldn't, you know, we could try to do a happy topic, or if you feel like you need to, it might be healing for you to delve into that topic. We could do that too, you know, since we both have that in common, you know what I mean? But we definitely don't have to. I'm just throwing it out there. But we could talk about it. We could definitely talk about it. Bull Monkey says we don't gotta forgive him. We can accept him as he is. Is that what you mean? Just take him as he is.
And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and not only defeated the enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice.
And now he's talking about how they went into Venezuela and took that man out of his house. Him and his wife in their bunny slippers and their bathrobes took the president of Venezuela out of his house and brought him to justice.
For the people of Venezuela.
Can you spell oil? Um Bull Monkey says call him out for the bullshitter he is. No excuses. I mean, like I said, this man, he's a great exaggerator. Let's just put it like that.
Gonzalez, she grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially.
Some people are scared to call him a liar. They'll be like, Trump stretched the truth in his speech yesterday. Just say he lied. If he said something that was blatantly untrue, you have to call it a lie. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, yeah. Yes, Miss Angie, hit me up. You know how to contact me, and I will be honored to link up with you and have a conversation live with you for sure.
With more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down.
Finally, another happy story because, man, this speech has been filled with crime, death, blood, guts, murder, illegal immigration, people getting shot in their head. Like, we can't even, if I was to do a YouTube stream like this, the way how this speech is going, YouTube would have, if I was a monetized channel, YouTube would have definitely shut me down the way how this speech is going. Straight up propaganda for real. Like, he's trying to scare us.
Nice to have you back, Enrique.
And it is kind of scary because there are people out there that are soaking in all this information and they may act on it depending on their mental state. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go too much further than that. I'm not going to say too much more than that.
Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter. A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook carrying, as you can imagine, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife.
I think he is getting ready to honor another military person. So do your thing, Trizzle. Do your thing.
Heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military.
And if there's any military out there that's possibly watching or in the chat or watching later, thank you for your service. You feel me?
Machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots.
It's just, he's so predictable, landlord from Alabama. He's so predictable.
That the use of his legs was vital to successful.
The biggest, the best. Beautiful. He likes the word beautiful too. Big, beautiful helicopter. It couldn't just be a military helicopter. It had to be a big, beautiful, the best helicopter.
Eric was thinking about it. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back.
Oh my God. He's so graphic. And the blood was gushing out of his legs and out of his body.
Escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission.
You know what, IG man? Before one of my mods takes care of you, let me just answer your question because I like to interact with my chat. I really do. That's a question that I get very often when people see my nails. It's so crazy to me. I want you to use your imagination. And the answer to your second question, do I look like Queen Latifah? Big beautiful helicopter. It can heli more. It can, what do you mean it can heli more copters?
Everybody in the back of the
Hey
helicopter,
yo.
I saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief warrant officer.
Nobody ever seen
From his serious wounds,
a
but
copter heli like that helicopter.
wife Amy, Eric, and Amy, come on in.
Oh man, he's bringing out wounded soldiers that's on walkers and canes. He's tugging at the heartstrings again. Somebody about to get a medal. I mean, big up the military. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem with this. Like, thank y'all for y'all service, straight up. Because I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I would hate for y'all to sign up for this and have to go and fight in a war or get deployed to some
So we have a surprise.
dangerous country and come home all, at least you come home alive, but you come home disabled, you come home with disabilities and injuries and PTSD and all of that. Like, yeah, like it's definitely not easy. And I know this because I have military in my family. So, you know what I'm saying?
Medal of Honor.
Definitely shout out to y'all. So this guy is getting the Medal of Honor. I'm glad Teddy Brother didn't join it on Godfather of Harlem. The military, right? Are the Democrats standing up for this? Because that would be really messed up if they not standing up. You got to stand up for the military, man. For the people, the wounded soldiers. You know what I'm like? Even if you don't agree with certain things, you got to at least give respect to wounded soldiers. Can we at least agree on that? I think they're standing up. It looks like everybody's standing up.
Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg. We have it back. We brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House. And Eric will be there.
Can't give everybody a medal now. You give everybody a medal, they're not gonna be. It's not gonna be special. How about some people get a pen? You know, some people get a pen, and then the people that really, really had a hard time, they get a medal. That's how I feel like it should be.
Thank you, Eric. That's a big one. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but there is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator. Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight, flying through blizzard conditions. His squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and
This
outgunned, Royce
man
led
that
the
he's
takedown of 4 enemy
honoring
planes,
right now
almost destroyed the others.
fought in World War II, and he
263
lives to tell the
bullets
tale.
to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old,
He's 100. I knew he was old, but I wasn't sure, like, like, I knew he had to be in his 90s, but he's 100.
Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
He's getting the Medal of Honor. He fought in World War II, Korea, and in Vietnam. Good Lord. And lived to tell the tale. So the First Lady is putting the Medal of Honor around his neck. Shout out to him. That's crazy special. That's nice. 100 years old and fought in all those wars. He deserves he deserves to do whatever he wants to do for the rest of his life. Are the Democrats standing up? Show the Democrats. Because they've been so feisty and petty tonight. They've been so feisty and petty tonight. It's not even funny. It looked like everybody's standing up. The whole place. All these white people, they're all standing up. That's all I see. They still going.
Thank you, Aaron. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be taking it, but if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday.
Trump is crazy.
Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing.
He said, I always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was told that I'm not eligible to get one. But if they ever change that law, I'm giving one to myself. That's the first time he made me laugh tonight. That was funny. Because I know he's not lying. He means that. Like, if he could, he would give himself that same medal. He would.
250 years is a long time in the life of a nation.
Okay, so these are the closing remarks right now. He's wrapping it up, y'all.
We met in the gallery this evening, took their first breaths
I think
1 century ago. 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes. In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving
I'm just
wilderness,
waiting for, like I
scaled a
said,
boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous
waiting
wildlife.
for the speech to be over, number
Entered the
one.
marshes and
And number
trampled the
two, I really
plains,
want
raised
to
up the
listen to the
world's
Democratic
greatest state.
response
Together we
to the
mastered the
speech
world's
and
largest
react to that as
landscapes,
well. So we're
shattered
going to
the
be
seas
here. Sit and
monstrous
stay, stick with
pyramids,
me.
and we
Give me a
liberated
thumbs
millions
up if you're
from the
still
chains of
around.
fascism, communism, oppression, and terror.
I can barely breathe.
America's
I'm
youth
getting over a
demanding
cold
advancement
right
through
now. This is
generations
the
of
tail
hard
end
work
of
and
it, but it's
skill.
still kind of
Then we launched
festering.
mankind
You
to
know what I'm
shooting
saying?
stars on
But
rocket
I'm
powered
trying to make it
starships with
through.
American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside. But that great betrayal is over, and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles, he knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to
Yo,
conquer, no dream too
I've heard that
bold
it's
for us
cold
to chase,
everywhere,
no
like
horizon
even in
too great
Florida,
for us to claim.
even in South
Our
Carolina, in the
imagination,
southern states. Is
combined
it
with hand,
cold?
providence,
Where you at?
and
Is the weather
determination,
is broken, bro. That's what Trump really should have talked about. He should have been talking about
whether
Mother
you're
Nature
working
and why is she so
construction in
mad
the
at us.
lowland villages of Michigan,
But like,
from
I know the weather
sanitation
is
works
messed
in
up,
Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas,
and it's been
from
cold
the
in places
canyons
where it's not
first
supposed to be
visited
that
in
cold.
Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. The golden age of America is upon us.
We had a
The revolution that began in
we had two bad
1860
snowstorms
has
back to
begun.
back up here.
It still continues
It
because
snowed so
freedom
bad
is
that
the
when I
ultimate
opened
freedom.
up my
So it remains
blinds,
in the heart of every American
when I
today.
opened up my blinds to look
May you
outside and see what,
continue
you know, what the damage was,
golden and more glorious than
I
ever
couldn't even
before.
see. All I seen
And
was
again, God
white.
bless you.
All I seen was
God
just white
bless
everywhere, kind of like this speech that I'm watching right now. All I seen was white. I couldn't see the roads. I couldn't see the trees. I couldn't see my front porch. Nothing. Dallas weather is bipolar. It's been windy and cold and hot all in one day. That's crazy. I've heard that before, though. I think I've heard Law say stuff like that about Dallas. Like it's 100 degrees one minute, and then the next minute you need a hoodie and a pair of gloves. Okay, so the speech is over, you guys, and I know one of the special things about 2026 is that the United States is turning 250 years old. So it's like, it's like a milestone birthday. You know what I'm saying? So this is pretty big, and Trump, one of his dreams was to be the president during this time. He wanted to be the president for this very special birthday. But I have to say, and I cannot speak for all minorities, but I have to say, not only am I a woman, not only am I a minority, but I also come from an immigrant family. When you think about the United States of America 250 years ago and how far or how not so far we've come, um, from then until now, the history of this country has not been sweet. It has not been pretty, and it has not been nice to everybody. It's only been sweet, pretty, and nice to a small segment of people. Not even such a small segment of people, but to a certain segment of people, if you get my drift. And if you disagree with me, let me know. So that's why sometimes, or a lot of times, when this president says make America great again, it was concerning, disturbing, insulting, and made a lot of people curious, because 250 years ago, there was a lot of people who are here today who could not walk the streets safely, who could not vote, who could not drink from the same water fountains, who had no citizenship status in this country. And even though the Constitution spoke a lot about rights of American citizens, and the Constitution was written in a way that gave people the right and the liberty to pursue, their own happiness. It wasn't talking about us. It wasn't talking about my people that look like me, people that look like your neighbor, your co-workers, your bus driver, your postal workers. So it's very excluding, and it's very divisive. And the fact that some people don't want to acknowledge that, and just want to say, "Oh, it's America and we're the United States, and you guys need to stop dwelling on that and stop playing a victim." The same old speech that they always give whenever minorities try to speak up about their grievances. Um you can't just ignore this country's history, because if you're saying make America great again, and we're asking you, what period in time was it great? Where do you want to bring us back to? Because the history of this country has not been nice and has not been kind to minorities. You understand what I'm saying? So, being that I check off all those boxes, I check off the immigrant box, I check off the woman box, I check off the black box. Those things right there didn't have a great relationship, let's say. This country did not look upon me as someone who could be educated, as someone who could be successful, as someone who could be a contributing citizen to this land. When the Constitution was written, it wasn't written about people who look like me. So this is something that some people fail to understand, and don't understand that we are concerned when we hear stuff like we're back and we're making it like the way it was before, except better. And the celebration of the Constitution. Do you know why there's a Juneteenth? Do you even know why is there a Juneteenth, y'all? It's a Juneteenth because Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, but Texas decided they wasn't going to tell their slaves. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we have to have a separate Independence Day. So 4th of July, y'all celebrating Independence Day, but was it Independence Day for everybody? Absolutely not. I just need y'all to understand it's not about playing the victim. And that's something that I see a lot of, let's just call it like it is. A lot of white people will say to black people or minorities or people who have been oppressed in this country to get over it. That was 400 years ago. When even if you can't figure out what it feels like because you have never walked in those shoes, and it's probably time for quiet time for you. You understand what I'm saying? Just quiet time, and let the people who know and understand what it feels like do the talking. Um, I'll just go back and read the comments because my nose is all stuffed up. Landlord says ours too. It was hot for 2 weeks and now it's cold, but it'll be 70 this weekend. The weather is broken, y'all. Um, Angie said they down there wearing a hoodie, a hoodie and shorts at the same damn time. That's what the weather is down there doing to my friends in the South. Those is my people in the South, y'all. They want us to ignore the trauma like racism is gone, and it's not. FIFA Fluffy says, I hear you. It's worse now. Yes. Thank you, FIFA, and thank you for joining us um, on Black Girl in a Blue State. I really appreciate you stopping by. We watched the whole, y'all give yourselves a round of applause. We watched the whole speech. We watched the whole speech, y'all, and we're still here to live. And we live to tell the tale. We live to tell the tale. That was not an easy feat. That speech was crazy. And I just say that because it was so dark, it was so gloomy, it had a lot of negative connotations. I'm so sorry, y'all. Um, can I mute this if I need to cough? Oh yeah, I can mute. Okay, so the next time I gotta clear my throat, or if I need to cough or something, I will mute the stream so you don't have to hear that. But a little acknowledgement, a little empathy, a little sympathy, a little openness, a little understanding, a little willingness to just listen, to someone else's side of the story. Like tonight, this happens all the time on both sides. This bipartisan foolishness, it's foolishness. It'll never get us anywhere. We're never going to get anywhere in this country with the way how it is. Like, if I'm a Democrat, I only mess with Democrats. And if I'm a Republican, I only vote with Republicans. No, like sometimes, yes, you have to cross the aisle and you have to vote together, or nothing will ever get done. And you can't tell me, it's no way you could tell me. It's like being in a sorority or a fraternity. Just because you're in a sorority or a fraternity, are you telling me, you want me to believe that you only think the way those people think? You don't never have a contradicting thought. You don't never have a opposing view from someone who you respect, love, and consider to be a brother or a sister. Of course you do. Of course you do. Why can't you sometimes think like someone else? You know what I'm saying? And I just, politics really just, it's such a mind-boggling thing to think about sometimes, that I really wish I could ignore it. But the type of person I am and the way that I'm wired, I can't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? And I try to stay in tune with it. I try to be abreast of the situations that's going on in the world, but I don't worship it, because there's only one God, first and foremost. But second of all, shout out to an old governor of mine, Governor Rowland, who told me labels are for soup cans. There's no such thing as, in my mind, being a straight up liberal and I don't never have no conservative thoughts. That's ridiculous. You got to have some kind of conservative thoughts, or you're a conservative so you only have, or you're a conservative so you never have liberal thoughts. Impossible. Okay, so here's the Democratic response. We're going to watch this. We're going to react to it, and then we're going to go to sleep. Angie says, I think it's all for show. They all in cahoots with each other. The system is rigged. Pfft, girl. Kind of reminds you of general management of football teams and stuff like that. The NFL in general. You know what I'm saying? It's all just entertainment at the end of the day. But we're going to listen to the Democratic response. Reject the unacceptable excesses of poor leadership, band together to demand better of their government, and create a nation that would be an example for the world. And this year, as we celebrate 250 years since America declared our independence from tyranny, I can think of no better place to speak to you as we reflect on the current state of our union. Tonight, as we watched our nation's lawmakers gather for a joint session of Congress, we did not hear the truth from our president. So let's speak plainly and honestly. Let's do it. Ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions. Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? That's what he said. Is the president working to keep Americans safe both at home and abroad? That's what he said. Is the president working for you? As I campaigned for governor last year, I traveled to every corner of Virginia, and I heard the same pressing concern everywhere. Costs are too high. That's true. In housing, healthcare, energy, and childcare. He said he's bringing it down, lady. The same conversations are being had all across this country. Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets.
Everyday Americans are paying the price. And even though the Supreme Court struck these tariffs down 4 days ago, the damage to us, the American people, has already been done. Meanwhile, the president is planning for new tariffs, another massive tax hike on you and your family. And Republicans in Congress, they remain unwilling to assert their constitutional authority to stop him. They're making your life harder. They're making your life more expensive. They're even making it more difficult to see a doctor.
This is so negative, yo.
In Virginia and across the country are already closing their doors thanks to the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, championed by the president and Republicans in Congress. And tonight, the president celebrated this law, the one threatening rural hospitals, stripping healthcare from millions of Americans and driving up costs in energy and housing, all while cutting food programs for hungry kids.
That's true.
But here in Virginia, I am working with our state legislature to lower costs and make the Commonwealth more affordable. And it's not just me.
It sounds like it's 4 people in that room. Where is she at? In her bedroom?
In our nation's capital and in state capitals and communities across America. In the most innovative and exceptional nation in the history of the world, Americans deserve to know that their leaders are focused on addressing the problems that keep them up at night. Problems that dictate where you live, whether you can afford to start a business or whether you have to skip a prescription in order to buy groceries. So I'll ask again.
I feel like I'm going to
Is the
sneeze.
president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? We all know the answer is no. I grew up in a house of service. My mother was a nurse, and my father was a career law enforcement officer. I began my career by following in my father's footsteps as a federal agent, working money laundering and narcotics cases. I worked side by side with local and state police to keep our community safe and to uphold and enforce the law. Law enforcement officers across the country know that it is a unique responsibility to do the serious work of investigating crimes, comforting victims, and making arrests. It's about building trust, and that requires an abiding sense of duty and commitment to community. And yet, our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have
I just figured it out that Trump, they never mentioned ICE. He didn't mention Minnesota, unless I missed it.
A little boy in a blue bunny hat, children to far-off detention centers. And
he talked about illegal immigration, but I don't think he ever once mentioned ICE.
Masked from accountability. Every minute spent sowing fear is a minute not spent investigating murders, crimes against children, or the criminals defrauding seniors of their life savings. Our president told us tonight that we are safer because these agents arrest mothers and detain children. Think about that. Our broken immigration system is something terrorize our communities. After working in law enforcement, I continued my career of service as a CIA officer, working undercover to protect the United States and our allies from global threats, terrorism, nuclear weapons, and the aggression of adversarial nations around the globe. But as the president spoke of his perceived successes tonight, he continues to cede economic power and technological strength to Russia, bow down to China, bow down to a Russian dictator, and make plans for war with Iran. Here's the truth. Over the last year, through Doge, mass firings, and the appointment of deeply to our nation's most serious positions, our president has endangered the long
It looks like I just
history of the United States of America being a force for good. So I'll ask again.
My phone was acting up. Y'all still with me?
Safe, both at home and abroad. We all know the answer is no. In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse. He tries to divide us. He tries to enrage us, to pit us against one another, neighbor against neighbor. And sometimes he succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to ask, who benefits from his rhetoric, his policies, his actions, the short list of laws he's pushed through this Republican Congress? Somebody must be benefiting. He's enriching himself, his family, his friends. The scale of the corruption is unprecedented. There's the cover-up of the Epstein files, the crypto scams, cozying up to foreign princes for airplanes and billionaires for ballrooms, putting his name and face on buildings all over our nation's capital. This is not what our founders envisioned, not by a long shot. So I'll ask again, is the president working for you? We all know the answer is no. But here's the special thing about America. On our 250th anniversary, we know better than any nation what is possible when ordinary citizens, like those who once dreamed right here in this room, reject the unacceptable and demand more of their government. We see it in the determination of students organizing school walkouts all across the country, whose voices are becoming so powerful that the governor of Texas seeks to silence them. We see it in the bravery of Americans in Minnesota standing up for their communities, from peacefully protesting in sub-zero temperatures to carpooling children to school so that their immigrant parents are not ripped away from them in the parking lot. As a mother of 3 school-age daughters, I am inspired by their bravery, but I am sickened that it is necessary. And Americans across the country are taking action. They are going to the ballot box to reject this chaos.
We gonna see.
With their votes, they are writing a new story, a more hopeful story. In November, I won my election by 15 points.
There were no solutions. It was just
and we won
instilling fear, basically, or trying to instill fear.
Because voters decided they wanted something different. Our campaign earned votes from Democrats, Republicans, independents, and everyone in between. Because they knew as citizens they could demand more, that they could vote for what they believe matters, and that they didn't need to be constrained by a party or political affiliation. This is happening across the country. New Jersey elected Mikey Sherrill as governor in a double-digit victory.
Ain't New Jersey blue?
Democrats flipped state legislative seats in places like Georgia, Iowa, Mississippi, and Texas. The list goes on and on. Ordinary Americans are stepping up to run in the spirit of our forefathers. They are running to demand more and to do more for their neighbors and communities. I know the story well. I first ran for office in 2018.
I'm going to tell you this right now. This better not be the new Kamala Harris for 2028. I think that would be a mistake.
In Congress. In my case, I was the first Democrat elected in 50 years, swinging our district 17 points. Those who are stepping up now to run will win in November because Americans, you at home, know you can demand more and that we are working to lower costs. We are working to keep our communities and our country safe, and we are working for you.
She sounds too much like a perfect politician, if you ask me.
In his farewell address, George Washington warned us about the possibility of, quote, cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men rising to power. But he also encouraged us, all Americans, to unite in a common cause, to move this nation forward. That is our charge once more, and that is what we are seeing across the country. It is deeply American and patriotic to do so, and it is how we ensure that the state of our union remains strong, not just this year, but for the next 250 years as well. Because we, the people, have the power to make change, the power to stand up for what is right, the power to demand
Sorry, I'm not feeling good. How are they working to help? Give us details, not just tell us feel good stuff.
May God bless the Commonwealth.
That's what I'm saying, Ange. Like,
the United States of America.
She just sounds too cookie cutter perfect. The Democrats lost the last election because that was a disaster of an election anyway, because it started with Biden and it ended with Kamala, and it just went down in flames. They better have a strategy for the next time around if they want to get back into the White House. Hassan, welcome to the chat. Salute. I appreciate you. All right, so that's it. It's over. We watched the speech. We watched the Democratic response. How are y'all feeling? Are y'all feeling better about the country? If you live in America, because I've had people from all around the world coming in and checking in with me tonight. Are you feeling exactly the same as you did 2 hours ago? Or do you feel better now that you've heard your president speak to you? Black Betty says not at all better. This whole Angie says both are full of shit. Have a good night, sis. Mwah. Hey, Angie, get your rest. I'll see you tomorrow. Hit me up in the inbox. You already know. We'll talk. Get your rest. Get your beauty sleep, beautiful girl. And we'll talk tomorrow. Black Betty, I don't feel better either. I already got a cold. So, I still feel the same. I don't feel no different. This whole 250-year anniversary of the country, it doesn't make me feel celebratory. It doesn't make me feel very much like there's something wonderful to reminisce about. Because I know 250 years ago, when they were building this country and they were writing that Constitution and they were talking about rights for their citizens, they weren't talking about everybody, were they? No, they was only talking about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And as a student of law and as a student of the Constitution, I must say the Constitution was a really good idea. It's just unfortunate that it didn't include everybody. The same persecutions that they were running from Great Britain, the same oppression that they was running from and trying to do better than, they turned around and did it to slaves and did it to immigrants that came into this country. So, as well as I feel the Constitution was written, it's just really unfortunate that it was written, but not with everybody in mind. Black Betty says, I want to know if we can all sue both parties for our emotional duress that they put us through. You feel me? Like, I don't want to be red. I don't want to be blue. I just want right. You know what I'm saying? Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you feel like you have to be Republican and go all Republican or nothing, all or nothing, you know what I'm saying? Then there's no way that you are being genuine. It has been some BS. It's been some BS since the beginning. And Trump's speech tonight, I'm sorry, I'm a little under the weather and I can barely breathe. Trump's speech tonight, I felt, was very dark. It was very dark. It was very gloomy. I didn't expect that at all. There were some nice moments where he, had the U.S. men's hockey team come out and he gave medals to very brave soldiers. He told stories of people who were brave, like the man. Thank you, Black Betty. I appreciate. It's just a cold. It's just a little head cold. You know what I'm saying? It's probably -5 degrees outside right now, and it's been snowing, and I was in warm weather. Then I came back home. I'll be all right. Um, he gave away medals of bravery. We celebrated heroes. So that was part of the best. Those were the best parts of the speech. Other than that, it was all doom and gloom. I will say I'm surprised he wasn't more that he didn't attack the Democrats more than he did tonight, because he usually does. He did get into a little bit of a screaming match with them. That was very interesting. I have to go back and watch that to see exactly what happened. He got into a screaming match with them, or they got into a screaming match with him. And then there was a time where he said, "You people are sick," you know. And then he says the Democrats didn't want to vote for this and they didn't want to vote for that. That's when I was like, there he is. There goes Mr. Divisive. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Divide and Conquer. But he didn't do it as much as I thought he was going to do it, to tell you the truth. It looked like he was really trying to stay focused and really trying to stay and stick to his teleprompter. But the speech was just about like illegal immigrants coming into the country, crossing the border. The borders were wide open, and killing innocent, beautiful girls, stabbing them up, blood and guts everywhere. It was very graphic. He spoke a little bit about what he wants to do for the country. You know what I'm saying? Like no tax on tips and overtime, even though we find that there's no such thing as no tax on overtime. For some people, you know what I'm saying? There's a little asterisk on that. There's always a little caveat. My mother always used to tell me nothing in this world is free. There's no such thing as free. You understand what I'm saying? Somewhere, some way, somebody's paying for it. Whatever it is, whatever that it is, ain't nothing in this world free. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I really didn't get much out of it besides him saying we're the best, we're the biggest, we're the brightest, we're the strongest. You know what I'm saying? I do like his little motto for the military, because I think it's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? What does he say? Strength with peace, or something like that. We get peace with strength. What, something to that effect. Basically saying like the dumbest John. Everything he say, it's gotta be the EST. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's the best and the biggest with him. Everything's the brightest. Yeah, they're showing the screaming match now. I gotta find out what Elon has been through it. She's been through it with this president. Like, this president has got on TV and called her stupid, un-American, unpatriotic. He has literally said, and this is not me exaggerating, he has literally said she needs to go back to where she came from. That is like on page 1 of the book of racism. Go back to where you came from. Is it not? And the president said that about a sitting congresswoman. She wouldn't be able to be on the Congress if she was an illegal alien. You know what I'm saying? So that was so inappropriate. But tonight, I feel like he was on good behavior tonight. I feel like he was on, for his standards, he was on good behavior. And he tried to stick to the teleprompter. And he talked about lowering prices. The prices of eggs has gone down. He didn't really have much. He said he ended 8 wars. We've heard all of this. There was no mention of the Epstein files. No surprise there. No mention of the Epstein victims. No surprise there. It's just like making sure that he pushes that agenda that illegal aliens are dangerous, they're criminals, they come from prisons and insane asylums, and they've crossed the border. And when he inherited the country, we had the worst, we We had the worst job growth in the history of the country, and now we have the biggest job growth in the history of the country. Everything's in the history of the country. He did it the best since the beginning of time. Um, John says he's a fantasist. Martinez family. Hey, what's up, love? What's going on? Welcome. Regular Degula says, why talk about the Epstein files? Well, maybe because it's like one of the biggest news stories across the entire country, and he's the president and his name is in it. Black Betty says he's delusional. John says he lives in La La Land. Quiet Flyer says he's full of crap. I mean, most politicians are, but this is our president. I don't know. You just expect something a little bit more. Or maybe I'm the delusional one. Maybe I'm the delusional one. I didn't really get much from this speech, so I really don't have too much to say. I can't believe a lot of it was really about illegal immigration. Like, you still talking about illegal immigration? And the cost of eggs. The van, the medical van will come and pick him up soon. The cost of gas has gone down. I don't know. Are you guys feeling like, economically speaking, that the country is in a better place in the last 365 days? Emmett says, yo, let that man live in your head rent free all day. Which man? Trump? You think Trump lives rent free in my head? I don't got time for that. He definitely don't. But as somebody who lives in this country, I think it's a responsible thing to watch his State of the Union address and respond to it and have thoughts about it. But tomorrow I won't wake up thinking about President Trump. So that's my reaction, y'all. I can't really say that in his first year of this, what is going to be a very long presidency, or the first year or 2 years now, right? Because he came in 2024. I can't say that I feel like the cost of things is so much better. Like, I see this significant price drop at the grocery store. I still feel like things cost so much more at the grocery store than they ever have before. Gas has sort of gotten better where I live. I know it's different in all the states all across America, but I can only speak for where I live. I have seen gas get a little bit better, but it could be better, but it could be worse. So I would say gas is like, I give it a C. You know what I'm saying? The cost of food though, no. Nope. The cost of living altogether, no. It still needs work. It still needs work. We talking tariffs. You can bet if he puts 100% tariff on champagne, he will still be buying it with taxpayer money for his parties in his new ballroom. It's just crazy because it's like, while we were suffering with that cost of eggs and everything, he's going around putting his name on buildings that didn't have his name on it before. He's going around in the middle of Black History Month, going to Philly and telling them that they need to take down the Black History, setups that they had. President Trump delivered. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought there was a breaking news, but it's no breaking news. Telling them that they have to take down the slavery exhibits because it puts a bad light on America during our 250th year anniversary. And it's like, that's American history. That's literally American history. You know what I'm saying? It's not that anybody wants to dwell in it, but you also don't want to ignore it, erase it, or act like it didn't happen. Either extreme is not good. So yeah, it just hasn't, he didn't, I don't think he touched on enough things that I wanted him to touch on as far as at the actual for real state of the union, the real for real state of the economy. Like, you got to remember about us, the little guys, you know what I'm saying? And I'm all for the military. Like, all of the awards and the medals of honor that he gave out tonight, they were well deserved. Salute to the military. Thank you for your service. That will never change. I think everybody can agree with that. You go to war, you come back all effed up, no legs, you know, you walking with a cane, you got blown out of a helicopter and you live to tell the tale. Man, really, you should be able to get anything you want from this country. Like anything, because you did it for this country. If you live to tell the tale, you should just tell them, like, hey, I need help with my rent. I need a house. I need a car. My kids want to go to school. Like, give the veterans whatever they want, basically. So none of that stuff. I don't have a problem with any of the military honorees tonight. You know what I'm saying? But the stories he told, the people who he chose to come and honor tonight are all like families of girls who were brutally slashed and murdered and shot and killed and stabbed to death by illegal immigrants. Like, I don't think there's anybody that would raise their hand tonight and say, do you vote to keep criminal, violent, illegal immigrants in this country? Nobody's saying yes to that. Nobody. So why are we still pushing this illegal immigrant agenda? You know what I'm saying? It's because you know that you're putting this sentiment out there that like all immigrants are bad. And trust me, I know that sounds crazy, but I've been doing this stream, I've been doing this podcast thing for a little while now, and I've had conversations with a lot of people that have a lot of different ideologies, and I love talking to people who think differently from me, to people who don't necessarily agree with me, as long as it's respectful. I love hearing the other side's opinion and points of view. And I promise you, a lot of them think that all immigrants are bad. A lot of them do. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. And they don't realize that there's different tiers of immigration in this country. And I've had to break it down for some of them. So it's just it's very dangerous, some of the rhetoric that he puts out there, and also very divisive. um I'm gonna scroll up a little bit and read some of your comments before I go, because my nose is really really stuffed up. I can barely even breathe or talk. Yes, we have 2 more years to go, Black Betty. I know. Have you noticed he does talk about the Vietnam War? Yeah, shout out to that 100-year-old. Did you guys see the 100-year-old veteran who fought in Vietnam, the Korean War, and World War II? Like I said, give that man anything he wants before he dies. Please give him anything he wants. So shout out to that man. Refused to have Jesse Jackson lay in state at the Capitol. I mean, it's still Black History Month, y'all. Last time I checked, Black History Month is all month long. That's the shortest month of the year, but we still get 28 days of Black History Month. I don't even know if he mentioned that. Now, don't quote me on that, because I talked a little bit through some of the speech, so there may have been some things that I missed. But from what I did hear and from what I did see, I don't think he mentioned that at all. Especially Jesse Jackson. Disrespectful stuff. God bless this country. God bless Donald Trump. God bless us all, T-Music lover. I'm not mad at that. A1 says Trump is a draft dodger. Toom said so was Clinton. He was a draft dodger. A lot of these was a draft dodger. John Terry says the left needs to move more to the middle, in my opinion. Agreed, John Terry. Or else they're not going to get back in the White House no time soon. I'm trying to see, like, who's the standout on the left. They need to start pushing that person forward now. Who is your standout? Don't wait till the last minute. Let us get to know them now so we can figure out if that's somebody who we think can hold it down in the White House. You know what I'm saying? Put them out there. Let them start doing speeches. Let them start doing commentaries because the Democrats lost a terrible, shameful fight the last time around. And we all know why. Because they started with Biden and they ended with Kamala and they had no strategy. And it just went down in flames. And if they don't want that to happen again, they need to start strategizing for 2028. Ahora. Um, Immigrants take from our black resources. Okay, Toom. I remember Trump saying that. Remember he got into a little bit of trouble or it caused a little controversy when he said that illegal immigrants take black jobs. And some people were like, "Well, what the hell is a black job?" Remember? And I did a show when he said that cuz it didn't bother me that he said black jobs cuz I kind of had an idea what he meant by black jobs. Just like how we kind of know what immigrant jobs are. What is the majority of what are the majority of them doing? We know that they're not CEOs of companies if you're a poor illegal immigrant in this country. We know you're not that. There's only but a few like list of things that we know that they do. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying? So those jobs that immigrants cross over into this country to come and do, and I'm not just talking about Hispanic immigrants, but those are the ones who tend to be the face of illegal immigration because they can cross the border kind of easily in a way. You know what I mean? And they can cross over without having to like get in a boat or get on a plane. How about that? The ones that are like, that can just like walk over or climb over or dig over. What kind of jobs do they do? We know. So when he was saying like they're taking black jobs, I kind of was like, but nah, they're really not. Cause we are not really farmers like that. We don't work the fields anymore, Trump. That was kind of like, back in them days, the Make America Great Again days. 46MD says they scrub your toilet. Sunny says they're taking the construction jobs. Anything you don't need a legal license to do. HM says, damn. Dre says the majority is landscaping. You got arms like my grandma. Okay. Thank you, HM. So yes, a lot of I feel like I have to talk for what I know. I'm not trying to be stereotypical. I live in a place where there's a lot of Spanish speaking, and black and white, very diverse where I live. I live in the northeast. So, we're very diverse up here. You know what I'm saying? But yes, a lot of them tend to be very good with manual labor, right? So like fixing cars and building houses and roofing, landscaping, all that kind of stuff. Do you consider those to be black jobs? Sunny says, you don't have the ability to even try to get that job because they're taking it. Guarantee you would rather work than sit at your house and be broke. Absolutely. I feel like there's enough jobs out there for all of us. I really, really do. And again, like you got to speak for where you come from. Where I come from, those are the immigrants that I see. But in other places, like remember when he was saying the Haitians were eating dogs and cats, like there was a very large Haitian population in that area of Ohio. So those people in Ohio can speak to what it's like to live around a bunch of Haitians. What's wonderful about the North and the Northeast in particular is that we do have a lot of immigrants. It is like a great section of the melting pot, and they all tend to like commune together. Everybody kind of wants to be around their own. It's not segregation, but it's just community. You know what I'm saying? And there's really like nothing wrong with that. Dre says, especially in New York, Prolapse says hi. Nico in the ATL says hi. Wesley Pipes is telling me to go to sleep. I don't know why. I mean, my nose is a little stuffed up, but I'm awake right now. I don't feel sleepy at all. That's a very pornographic name you have there, by the way. Sunny says there's really not a lot of jobs for everybody. There's only so many American dreams, so many golden tickets. You shouldn't have to compete with people that aren't even supposed to be here. Yes, Sunny, you're not saying nothing wrong, Sunny. If you're talking illegal immigration, you're not saying nothing wrong. But do you know that some of these immigrants that Trump be referring to yeah, Dre. Some of these immigrants that Trump be referring to are not illegal. That's the problem. People who are seeking asylum, they're not illegal. People who have protected status, even though they may not have citizenship, if they're protected by the government to be here, they're not illegal. Now, if they're here committing crimes, selling drugs, killing people, raping girls, kidnapping, and all of that, then they gotta go. I think everybody can agree with that. I don't think anybody is disputing that. But we can't paint every immigrant with the same brush. We just really got to be careful with that. None of us are meant to be here unless we're Native Americans, John says. And Dre says facts. 46 says, why do you want these people here? HM says, let them take your job. If they're qualified to take my job, come get it. If you went to school and you got 2 degrees, you understand what I'm saying? And you climbed your way up to where I'm at, come get it. Come on. Why do you want these people here? What people? Immigrants? Why not? Who else would I want to be here? Just Americans? I mean, what are we going to do next? Take it back to when it should just be whites? Segregation? So we want to deport all the immigrants, even if they have legal status in this country. Tommy, what did I say? Tommy said, wow. We want to take it back to 1885. Let's just take it back to 1776. Let's take it back to 1776 because those people that wrote that Constitution, they were immigrants too. I appreciate the conversation. I really, really do. And I just want the best for whoever. Hennett Sanchez, why you cussing? Why you cussing, Sanchez? Fred says you will not make it. Where in 1776? My black ass would not be here. I'm not a foundational black. I'm not. The king says do a 360. Turn around and then come right back. Reagan says, do you still have those green sheets? I don't even know what that means. You mean sheets like rolling papers? I don't smoke. Willie wants to know where my family is from. If you look at my page, you could probably figure it out. Reagan, you don't know what color my bed sheets are. Relax yourself. Illuminator says, Trump USA. Did you enjoy the speech, Illuminator? I'm assuming you enjoyed it. What was your favorite part of the night tonight? Let me know. I think my favorite part of the speech tonight was probably the little old 100-year-old Vietnam War veteran, World War II war veteran, who got the Medal of Honor tonight. I think that was probably my favorite part of the speech, because God bless him to live that long and go through that many wars. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him and thank him for his service. But what was your favorite part of the speech tonight? Let me know. And what did y'all think of the Democratic response? I thought it was way too cheesy for me. The Democrats, excuse me, the Democrats better get it together. Sorry, y'all. The Democrats better get it together. They better. Um, Wilbert says Obama love. Obama love. Willie Mays says foundational Black Americans have fought in every war on this land, every single war, and I don't think not one of them got a Medal of Honor tonight during that speech. I don't think, and I said don't quote me on this because a couple of times I looked away, a couple of times I started talking while he was talking, but I'm almost positive that he never once mentioned that it was Black History Month, because it would probably piss off a lot of his supporters. Sorry, I just had to say that. If he did mention it, I missed it, but I will rewatch it just to make sure, or I'll skim through it just to make sure. John says, I liked it when Trump says he wants to give himself the medal. Yeah, that was funny. That was the one and only time that I laughed. He made me laugh. He made me laugh when he said that. Because first of all, it was funny, but second of all, I know he ain't lying. I know it's true. He wishes he could put that medal around his own neck. And then he said he found out that he can't. Oh, Illuminator. Oh, God. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That was unfortunate. Happy Black History Month, y'all. Happy Black History Month. If y'all don't know what Illuminator is talking about, I don't feel like telling you. I don't feel like talking about it. Watch my page. So a lot of my shorts, for those of you who are new to me, a lot of my shorts are politically motivated, such as you see. Black Girl in a Blue State is the name of my little politically motivated podcast, but this is not 100% what I do. It's just one of my side passions, okay? Sorry, I keep sniffling and doing all of this. I'm sick. I have a cold. And I'm going to be logging off soon because my nostrils are both plugged up. HM says, individuals with jobs requiring degrees or certifications lack concern for low-wage blue-collar workers because these jobs do not impact them directly. Ain't that the way of the world, HM? Ain't that the way of the world? I feel like you have to have a sense of awareness to be able to understand that the jobs that are quote unquote beneath you directly affect you, even if they directly indirectly affect you. If you don't understand that and know that, then how did you even make it to the level where you are? Unless you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Many of us were not born with a silver spoon in our mouths. That's why there's the 1% and there's the 99%. The 99%, we know what it is to put in that work to get to where we want to go. And I have to say, especially children of immigrants or people who are immigrants who came to this country, majority of the time, they come here to work as hard as they possibly can because they definitely weren't born with silver spoons in their mouth. And they feel like this is this opportunity for them to make this money and do something great for their lives and be able to take care of their families back home in a country where the opportunities just are not there. That's why an immigrant coming here legally does not threaten my stance and my status in this life. The Lion, that was crazy. And he just kind of got away with it. It was like no big deal. It was no big deal. Dre the Dream. Zulza says, Gavin Newsom, I can't read. I don't get that one. I'm sorry. Tommy Gunn says, the robots are coming. Yes, they are. And I'm running in the other direction. I promise you. I don't want nothing to do with it. You ever see the movie I, Robot with Will Smith? That's me. Hiram says, you don't work. Who don't work? What you know about me? You talking about me? You can't be talking about me. How do I keep this roof over my head if I don't work? They come here for a free ride. To Leach, who comes here for a free ride? Who? You can't say stuff like that. Like, you can say maybe some of them do, but what's free about coming here to work? I don't know if you know this, but the government doesn't allow you to immigrate into this country and get on welfare. You have to have some type of financial foundation to come into this country. Or they're not going to let you in. It's a very rigorous, it's a very strict process. Apron says, thank God my immigrant parents paved the way and have prepared a living inheritance for me. I'll definitely pay it forward to my kids and grands. Salute, Apron. Willie says, oh, I can't see it. Sorry, hold on, Willie. I'm coming. But they shouldn't come here to undermine the Americans and get prioritized. Yes, I've heard that argument a lot, that like the immigrants are getting benefits that are taking away from American citizens. And you have to understand, talk to your government about that. The immigrants that are here that are getting certain priorities or prioritizations, immigrants that have certain like special protected status, they got that from the government. They can't just make that happen for themselves. So that's something you need to, look into your local government about. Sorry to keep sniffling. Tommy says they can never affect your status. We are written in the Constitution. Dre says Terminator is becoming reality. It's some scary shit. Willie says, come get your money and go back home and build your homelands. That's what a lot of them try to do, I think, Willie. That's what a lot of them, really, that's what their dream is, to be able to do. But when you come from another country, especially like a third world country, you are born being told that like America's the land of milk and honey and the streets are paved with gold and everybody's rich and everybody has a mansion. And then you get here and you realize not so much. You actually do got to come here and you got to work. But the thing about it is, like I said, for the most part, generally speaking, immigrants who come into this country really and truly do come here to work. And they will do the jobs that a lot of people, for the most part, are not interested in doing. So therefore, that's why I say there's enough for everybody. Because you said somebody in here said they scrub our toilets. Do you want to scrub toilets? Because if you don't want to scrub toilets, then they're not taking any jobs from you. If they're willing to do it and you're not, then there's no competition. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm talking legal immigration, y'all. I'm not talking illegal immigration. Okay? Listen to Sasha Riley's interview about Trump grading him when he was 12 years old. Somebody said I'm wrong. I probably was wrong in your eyes. I need to charge my phone. It's about to die. There we go. HM says not if you're illegal. Right. There's a difference between legal immigration and illegal immigration, y'all. Willie says not true. Easy Money says they get it from the Democrats. Democrats have been letting these people do it. It's illegal for them to work if they are illegal. Those jobs are for the youth. Yeah. Okay. So, Willie, when you was young, I don't know how old you are, obviously, but when you were young and you were in high school, did you guys have like tobacco fields or like farmland or anything like that? And that was usually what kids did over the summer to make a couple of dollars. Remember that? Tommy Guns. They need to go home and make their country great again. Damn, Tommy, that's harsh. That's harsh. That hurts. That hurts my soul to hear you say that. Cause why? Um, why can't people have a dream? No. It's not facts. Why can't people have a dream? If their dream is to move to America, why can't they move to? I have a dream to go to Paris. What if I got to France and they was like, man, if you don't take your go back to where you came from, we don't want you here. Willie says, those are not immigrants' jobs. It's Americans that do those jobs in the fields. And Zulza says, there is abusing asylum. Well, there's abuse everywhere when it comes to governmental systems. Don't you think? Like there are people that abuse the government for benefits all the time. So, yes, of course there's problems there that needs to be fixed. And a lot of government systems are broken and need to be fixed. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just not anti-immigrant, y'all. I mean, like I said, I'm not a foundational Black American, I guess that's what you call it. You know what I'm saying? I don't, my roots don't trace back to the United States. You feel what I'm saying? So maybe that's why I have a soft spot. But you have to understand and know and realize that when I'm talking about immigration, I'm talking about legal immigration. Legal, not illegal. Yeah, of course, Tommy Guns. It makes sense, right? That I would have a soft spot for people who come to this country the right way and work, put in the effort, build up their lives, pay into the system. You understand what I'm saying? Wrong island, Willie Mays. Wrong island. Pick another island. Zulza says court date 6 years out. They don't show up, all while on benefits. Yeah, the system is broken, Willie. I'm not denying that. I mean, Zulza. The system is broken. Yeah, Willie. We were talking about death row earlier, and I was saying death row is so ridiculous because you sit on death row for decades and decades. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just give the person life without the possibility of parole and call it a day. What is the point? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it, we were talking about how even if you do end up killing them, there's so many wrongfully convicted prisoners in the system that you could end up potentially killing someone who was innocent. But I'm only bringing that up to say that these systems are broken in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? None of them are perfect. So, Heather, my girl, brings up an excellent point. If people are in process of immigration, they are not illegal. Now, if someone is in this country and has either lost their status or doesn't have their status or overstayed their stay here and are trying to get their status, they are in limbo. They're in limbo and they are deportable. But if you are in process of trying to get your status back, if you lost your status or if you never had status, it's all a money thing and it's all a waiting game and it's all a government thing, but the government allows you to do so. And the government grants protected status to certain people who come from certain countries, war-torn countries. They're allowed to be here. They're allowed to be here. You see what I'm saying? So it's not as bad as y'all think. Sylvia Rivera says, what's funny is that they work, but real Americans don't work. Anyways, some are good, some are rotten apples, like the immigrant that killed the girl in Florida and shut her up in pieces. Sad. I mean, this speech that he gave tonight, how many stories do y'all think Trump told tonight about illegal immigrants killing girls in this country? I can name probably at least 4. I think he told at least 4 stories about illegal immigrants chopping up, shooting, killing, raping, and mauling young innocent girls in this country. He really wanted that point to hit home, did he not? That immigrants are dangerous and they are criminals and they are terrorists and they are murderers. I think he got his point across. Heather says it doesn't matter where I'm from. Cuban, thank you for hanging out with us. Are you saying peace as in you leaving or peace as in you just got here? Either way, peace to you. Some are. Yes, of course. It's always some, but it's never all. It's never all, Tommy. There's a difference between political asylum and economic asylum. One is valid, the other is not. Points are made. Points are made. But the point that I'm making, the only point that I'm trying to make is that all immigrants are not criminals. That's number 1. I really need to get that out there. And number 2 is that there are immigrants who are in this country that have status that was granted to them legally by the government. So they might not be green card holders. They might not be citizens. However, the government, Trump's administration, granted them some kind of status in order for them to be able to stay here. And they're not allowed to get on food stamps and get all this stuff, but they are allowed to apply for certain things that's just for them. So that I do understand if that bothers you, because you're saying that like it's taking away from American citizens. And I get that. But the money that is set aside for these immigrants is not the same money. You know, the government has different pots of money. That money is not supposed to intermingle with the money that goes to the people who live here that are citizens like you and me. Willie says, you sound delusional. It's such a thing as deportation. Remember that. Why you tell her that? What did she say? What does real American mean? If you have citizenship or born there, you are American. That's right. What did she say that's wrong? She said if you're born here, you're an American. That is correct. I'm going to let y'all hash that out. No money is supposed to go to illegal. But I'm not talking about illegal aliens. I'm talking about aliens with protected status. That's who I'm talking about, not the illegal ones, Terry, okay? Not illegals. I'm talking about aliens or immigrants with protected status. Because you live here, it doesn't make you an American. Of course it doesn't. Sylvia said, it's sad. What do they get? What do they get? Their money back from their green cards refunded, the money they wasted. Oh, the government ain't refunding anybody anything. What are you talking about? Never. That's not happening. That's not happening. We are trillions of dollars in debt and we're supporting the world. We are done doing that. Okay. I hear you. I hear you. Are you talking about like foreign issues where like we're going into other countries to go save them and giving them food and helping rescue them and stuff like that? Or are you talking about people coming over here and trying to live a better life and work for it? Because that's two different things. Um, if you are born there or have citizenship, okay. Okay, so Heather and Willie are going back and forth. Feel free to join into that conversation if you want to. Terry says they better not. Deniner Rochelle says, I think that is why he's rolling back TPS for many. Oh, yes. I think how many countries are on that list now? 51 countries? Something like that. He just added a bunch more countries to the list. He did. No one is complaining about protected status. That's a very small number. We are talking about illegals. Yeah, see, HM, I'm just trying to clarify that when we say immigrants, not all of them are illegal. So when I'm talking about protected status, when I'm talking about asylum seekers, when I'm talking about green card holders, those are all immigrants, but they're not illegal. So yes, when we're talking about illegal, we're talking about illegal. We'll stay on the same, long as we're staying on the same page and we're right here with each other. You know what I'm saying? I'm concerned about people who don't know the difference. Willie, be nice and don't call her a little girl. You don't know how old she is. Stop it. Zulza says, respectfully, you don't understand the difference between asylum and immigration. I do. I understand the difference. I understand the difference. There are people who come here from dangerous situations and are asking the government if they can please stay. That would pretty much be people who are seeking temporary protected status. But as someone just mentioned, and I can't remember who already, Trump is really limiting that right now. And people who are in the country right now with TPS, that's getting ready to expire. At one point, it was extended, and he took the extension away. So Trump is not playing no games. He didn't even really bring that up. He didn't even really talk about that. He was just talking about the illegals and the criminals, the murderers. No, it does not mean 30 years, not by any means. It's probably like it's year to year, if I'm not mistaken, Tommy. It's year to year. You got to keep applying for it. It's not like this. You got to keep applying for it. You know what I'm saying? Something's lit says they making our, oh wait a minute. The chat is moving. They making our living worse. Let their country deal with them. Oof. I hate that so much. I really do. That whole go back to where you came from mentality is just so antiquated. I hate hearing that. It's kind of scary. Go back to where you came from. You know? Cuz why are we saying that? Della says we need to close our borders until we get straightened out. We can't afford to support any more who can't support themselves. Biden pulled the Haitian TPS. Oops. Being born here just makes you an anchor baby, but your parents can get sent back home real fast. Damn, Willie, you need a job on the Trump administration. That's what you need. Tommy says that's not temporary. Yeah, no, 30, it's not 30 years though, Tommy. You're exaggerating with that one. You know it's not 30 years. HM says if that were true, they would leave the dangerous country and stay in the next country. What they really want to do is come here because of economic reasons. Absolutely. No disagreement from me. They come here because, And by the way, this is not the only country that immigrants immigrate to. You know what I'm saying? This is not the only country they migrate to. They go to Canada, they go to the UK. Everybody has their own immigration issues and systems in place. It's not just America. We are not the only desirable country in the world, but we certainly are at the top of the list, you know? Stay and fight to save your own nation. That is their responsibility to their homelands. Damn, David, why does everybody keep talking like this? This is how y'all really feel? Wasn't this country built on inclusion? Like, built on the backs of immigrants? Like, I don't understand. Why y'all keep talking like this? Y'all really just want immigrants to go away? What about everybody else? What about everybody that doesn't look like Thomas Jefferson? Let me put it out there like that. Where should they go? They have more than us, in our own house. You think illegal immigrants or immigration or immigrants who are seeking citizenship or status in this country have more than us? Then that means you don't have much. Everyone else came willingly after slavery. I'm sorry. You guys, I'm sick. I can't stay on too much longer. Something's lit asked me, do I even know history? Teach me, something's lit. Please teach me. Teach me history. Stop skipping the line. Absolutely. I would say that too. The light on the hill. Oh, I like that. I like your name. The light on the hill. The light on the hill. Yeah. I don't know if I have that function, HM. I'm just on my phone right now. I'm not like on a actual streaming service right now, but I do have a streaming service and I will go live again and I will hook up the phones. I will do that. David says, we may disagree, but I credit you for actually having a civil conversation. Yeah, because, I'm not here to argue or be disrespectful or call anybody out their name. None of that. I'm a Black girl in a blue state, but my mind is open. So is my heart. You know what I'm saying? And I care about people. I really do. And I sat here and I listened to Trump for 2 hours because I really wanted to hear what he had to say. I really did, or else I wouldn't have did it. You think I'm not getting paid off of this. I did this because I really wanted to watch the speech with y'all. And then I wanted to talk about it. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. Connecticut is segregated. Yeah, I think most of this country is segregated within all of its towns and cities, you know? Werder Bremen. I'm trying with these names. Says, I'll teach. Blacks didn't come on a ship. How did they get here? In a plane? Joe, what's going on, Joe White Jr.? Brooklyn says he didn't say anything, just the same old divisive language. You know what, Brooklyn, I have to admit, he did get divisive a couple of times, for sure, when he called the Democrats sick and he called them out for not clapping and stuff like that. But I thought it could have been way worse. I think he was on what I would consider to be good behavior tonight. But the speech itself, it wasn't very groundbreaking for me. He didn't really say anything that had me feeling like, going into this next 2 years, like, Trump got this. The Light on the Hill says, this is how debates are supposed to happen. Something's Lit says, nope, we were already here. Something's Lit. Okay, so you're talking about like Native Americans were black, or there was already black people in this country when the colonizers came over. Got you. I can't argue with that. Oh, I wish I could pronounce this name. Deniner. I'm gonna call you Rochelle. Denine Rochelle. 2744. We are already here. We are the copper colored indigenous people. We are the original Indians. Blacks have always been here. That's what Werder says. To be Alexa, I'm not talking to you, Alexa.
Well, that's awkward since you just did.
I'm here whenever you need. I did not say your name. Good night, Alexa. To be fair, sweet dreams. Same to you. Thank you. David, to be fair, he and his followers get called far worse daily. Yeah, it goes both ways though, David. You know that. It goes both ways. I have to admit, the vitriol wasn't on 10 tonight. The vitriol wasn't on 10. I knew he wanted to get started with them, but then he kind of like backed off a little bit. You know, his people, his handlers probably told him, not tonight. Don't do that tonight. I know he wanted to, and he went there a little bit with them, but then he pulled back a little bit. But Elon Omar was in the audience just screaming and yelling lies and all of that. That was crazy, like very dramatic stuff. The Democrats, they were being a little petty. And some of them were not clapping for certain things that they probably should have clapped for, you know, like, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Even with the Supreme Court justices sitting right there in front of him, he's mad at them right now, and he let them have it, but he didn't let them have it as bad as he let them have it when they originally shot down the tariffs. When they shot down the tariffs, he went live immediately, like how a YouTuber goes live, you know, like when there's news and a YouTuber is like, oh, I gotta go live. That's what Trump was like. Like, they told me I can't do these tariffs. I'm about to go live. Okay, let me read a few more comments. Something's Lit's going, yep. Red Monster Socks says, my collar blue, but my neck is red. Working all night. Just keep my family fed. Is that a country song? That sounds like a country song. Like a country western song. Something's Lit. This country is originally called Turtle Island. Did you know that? No, I did not. I don't know. I didn't know that. No. I will Google that, though. I will look it up. David says, hard not to fight when you are constantly being attacked. But he be attacking too. At the end of the day. Come on now. He calls people names. He got, you know, if you don't agree with him, you're automatically the enemy. And it shouldn't be that way. That's not how you run a country. It don't work like that. You shouldn't do that. I can't agree with that. None of these people willingly came here during slavery and then have the nerve to call the descendants lazy. Oh, I hate that word. I hate that word a lot. Especially when it's directed at a person of color. I'm sorry. It's got very strong racist connotations. Sorry. Sylvia says the heart doesn't own itself. Mixed relationships makes it hard for everyone. When they get separated, but the heart doesn't own itself. Why cause all different relationships? Whoa, Sylvia, are you talking about interracial relationships? Something's Lit says, wow. And then he says, good night. Night, night, Something's Lit. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate your commentary. Really appreciate your contributions to the stream tonight. And I hope you'll come back and see me again. Steve says, when Obama is arrested, please remain calm. I promise you I'll be calm. What I'm supposed to do? Jump out my window? I'll be all right. What's he getting arrested for? You know something I don't know? Is he in the Epstein files? Thanks for being gracious. Have a good evening. Night, night. Bonsoir, David. Bonsoir. Thank you for being here with me tonight, and thank you for contributing to the chat. I really appreciate you. I do. We're going to do this again, y'all. I usually do these Black Girl in a Blue State type of podcasts or live streams when there's something going on in the government, something going on in the country, something going on with Trump. That's when you'll see me jump on and do these types of lives. Werder says there are no races. What are we, dogs? So this is not what my channel is all about, but when stuff like this is going on in the world, yes, I do pay attention and I react. And as you guys can see, I'm open to listen and I'm open to educate as well as be educated. Educate me. You know what I'm saying? I will take what you tell me and I will go do my due diligence. I will research. I will look it up. I will educate myself. And I hope y'all will do the same. You know what I'm saying? I'm book smart, but I'm also street smart. And I'm open. Black Girl Power from Scotty Boy from Catskill, New York. Big up New York. What's going on, Scotty? Scott Key in the building. You understand? So yeah, so let's just work together, y'all. Immigration, the immigrants are not our biggest problem. Okay? When you assess the world around you and you look around and you take it all in, what number on the list do immigrants really fall? It can't be that high. You know what I'm saying? Let's work together, y'all. Let's stick together. Who you think is winning the White House in 2028? Republicans or Democrats? Does it matter? We still gonna be right here. And I hope we'll be together. You know what I'm saying? David said, what's number one? It's not immigration. I promise you that. I said when you wake up tomorrow. So I got to think about it. I got to sleep on it. It's right now. If I was to answer off the top of my head, I would probably say the price of food in the grocery store is my biggest issue. If you could find a way to correlate that to immigration, holla at me. Let's talk about it. The criminal justice system, it's all kinds of effed up in this country. You know what I'm saying? That's an issue. That's not directly correlated to immigration. Ken says, I am black and fuck everything else. Oh, wait. No, that's not what he said. And fucks being anything else. Yes, that's right. Why would we want to be anything else? Biden had the same prices. Did Biden have the same prices? I feel like the prices were going up towards the end of his presidency. But I also recall and remember COVID. COVID had us effed up from 2020 to like 2023. Or we're still seeing the ramifications of COVID, the government shutdowns or the lockdowns that we were on, where no one could go to work. The airlines weren't making any money. So many industries were directly affected, negatively affected by COVID when we couldn't go outside and we couldn't spend. We couldn't earn and we couldn't spend. And we couldn't keep the economy going. The government is sending out all these checks, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to regular people, millions and millions of dollars to keep some of these corporations up and running. What did y'all think was gonna happen? I ain't get the vax either. Tyler, don't tell nobody. Oh no, Mark, don't tell nobody. Cuban says it was never about race. It was always about economic classism and race. I would say it's a little bit about both. Mark says we can't earn from an iPad. And Marcus says so pretty. All right, y'all. My nose was stuffed up. Now I'm breathing again. A little bit. Y'all be safe. Y'all be easy. It's 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. I have work in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I have a black job. No, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know what color my job is, but I know it pays me. So I'm going to sleep. Jeffrey, night night. David, night night. Never should have sent those checks. It was a one-way ticket. David, I will stay on here and we'll talk about that another hour. Please don't get me started on the stimulus checks. Please don't get me started. We're going to have to come back and do this again. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to me, or just at least keep an eye on my channel if you don't want to subscribe. Like I said, this is not what I do every day. So don't think that you're going to come to UGoddess's channel and see a bunch of political talk. It's not like that. I do a little bit of everything, but it's not like that. David, yeah, we're gonna talk again, David. Keep tapped in with me. Night at the Jefferson says vote gold. All right, y'all. Listen, the speech, I thought it was not so exciting, but thank you for watching it with me. Thank you for reacting with me. Sylvia says you have a nice heart. Bless your soul. Bless you too. COVID killed lots of people that got forgotten. So the hospital did not have enough machines to keep people alive. Donald Trump was the president at that time. Yeah, it was a little bit of Trump. It was a little bit of Biden. You know, Trump takes credit for the good stuff that happened during his part of the COVID era and blames Biden for everything else and vice versa. You know how that go. Nope, Tyler. I'm not Haitian. Wrong country. Sylvia, why did he not provide more machines? Both parties suck. Captain, amen to that. Amen to that. TikTok is the new welfare, says, oh my gosh, you are a hater. And with that, good night, y'all. Bonsoir. Peace and love. I keep speaking in French, but it's not because I'm Haitian. I'm from a different island. I already alluded to that earlier in the chat. Peace and love, and thank y'all for being here with me tonight. I'll see you at the next one. Get some rest and be good. Be good to each other. Be good to your fellow immigrant if you can.